Scott.
Hey guys.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good. Man, good to see you, Scott. I haven't seen you in a while.
I know I've been taking care of business, but yeah, it's great to be back. Good to see you guys.
That's good. I've noticed that you've watched some of those. I follow you on Facebook, and you've like watched some launches, I think, rocket launches.
Yeah, I was out in Florida for a couple months for medical stuff, and yeah, part of the cool part was being able to watch all the rocket launches. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah. My son is like on kind of, he like moved from trains to rockets, and so now he's all about rockets. And,
That's awesome.
we just watched the Starship explode on
Oh yeah.
it's pretty fun.
Nice.
Hey Kirsty,
Good afternoon, evening, wherever you are.
wherever we are.
How's it going?
Yeah. Oh man. I'm just gonna hang out for a few more minutes before we get started and see if others show up. I can't remember if y'all have been on with Eddy before, but just a little background. Eddy, I have a piano man crush on Eddy because he is an incredible piano player. Oh my goodness. And he lives here in Austin, and I was always that like super nerdy like fan sitting right like when I was a little kid, my grandma always like, we'd go to these little concerts, like house concerts and stuff, and she'd sit me like right behind the piano player, and so I could see their hands on the keys. And so now that's what I do whenever there's a piano player.
Yeah, you gave me some great videos to share by doing that at the Elephant Room or Gold. Yeah, Gold Room.
Yeah,
those were cool.
So
good point of view of the piano for me. Yeah, appreciate that, man.
I mean, Eddy, are you gonna play out again one of these days?
When it's all time, yeah. When it's all back in.
Because I will be
swing of things.
I will be that nerdy.
Yeah, I'm
fan.
Gonna need all the audience members we can get out there, you know. And then you too. We've talked about a dual show.
I know.
I can open for you. You can open for me. You know, so I could use the same rhythm section.
Oh man, Sam and Kyle.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God,
that would work.
Incredible. Okay, hey Lou.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. Glad you're here. We have everyone that's submitted now. So
cool. Yes,
I think we can get started. We have Scott, Kirsty, and Lou. And there's Dave. What's up, Dave?
Yeah. Oh, I'm just at work. I figured I'd tune in and see what I can do here. Just got out of a meeting and I'm heading to lunch, but I will listen and shut my video off and mind my own business while I drive.
Awesome. Glad you're here.
Right on. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, you bet. Well, I've never done a workshop like this per se. We've done song critiques with Shane Adams, which y'all are familiar with, who've been there. But today I want to do something a little different, where we look at a song and kind of think of it in terms of arranging and structuring it with the intention of like finishing it and recording it. And I thought I'd bring Eddy in to kind of be a set of ears on there and talk about what he might do to it or not do to it. I mean, Eddy, do you want to talk about what arranging means to you exactly?
Yeah, we were just discussing that before everybody tuned in, and I think it is good to find out what do we mean by it, because yeah, I mean, even to say production is, I was having that question with someone earlier, what does that mean? And production, arranging can be part of production. You know, you have a basic song that you know what the melody is, you know what the lyrics and the chords, but to turn that into a finished product, whether it's, we're going to talk about recording now, or you could say, well, I'm not recording it yet, I'm just going to play live, but still, you know, you want to structure that song. Is that way that you played it down just from beginning to end, is that the way it needs to be? Is there something else that could go in between sections, or a different section, or, you know, the instrumentation? So that's another part of arranging that you could say, besides just different possibilities of melody, chords, rhythms, and sections. How about the instruments? Does this need to be just a solo guitar song, or does it need a rhythm section behind it, a band behind it? Does it need background vocals, or does it need to be that very intimate solo thing with just the one voice there? So to me, it's like, I think you could put both of those things together, the actual, you know, writing and or rewriting parts that could happen. And we could talk about that. Like, if a lot of times a producer or someone helping out can give a suggestion to maybe insert a solo or instrumental section in a song that wasn't there already, or double the chorus at the end, or this doesn't have a bridge, but it could use a bridge. And unless they're writing specifically, it's going to be this melody and these chords and all of that, a lot of times producers are not taking songwriting credit for that, because the majority of the song, you know, 90% or whatever, was already there to begin with. And especially if you're just suggesting to play a section again, or remove a section or something, or just add something, and then the writer goes and writes that. So it's debatable, and some people will say, no, that's now I'm in the writing process. But lots of times it's not. So you don't have to get nervous about someone, you know, helping you arrange a song or do the instrumentation to a song. And now it's like, oh, well, now they're a co-writer and they get 50% of everything. You know, it's more of just, I'm taking what's already there, or whoever is taking what's already there, and maybe we're working out some details of how that's going to be presented. But the song itself was already there, you know, to begin with.
Well, that brings up an interesting point. I just want to clarify that if you make a suggestion and someone here takes it and uses it, you're not going to suddenly request songwriting credit.
Right. Yeah. That was kind of my disclaimer too at the beginning of this.
Make that clear, because I know that that is a fear people have, even with bringing a song to a critique. You know, I clarify that with critique sessions with Shane, because I mean, someone gives you a line and it makes the song, you know, and I know Shane's done that with me, but he's like, it's yours. This is part of it.
It's, to me, it's something that would definitely be a discussion before ever getting together, possibly even before the song starts to be written or something, that, hey, I'm going to bring this to you, and I'd like to develop it with you. I'd like to finish it out, and I will give you songwriting credit. And I have done that with a lot of people where they have some of a melody and all the lyrics, and they need some help with the rest of the melody and all the chords. They didn't have any chords, and even arranging now, you know, like, is it just verse, chorus, and that's it? Or what do we have? And yeah, so it just depends. These seem like, I didn't get to hear all of each of these songs, but hopefully we can today. But if they are complete songs, then that's great. That's like beginning to end. It could be just like that, you know, and it might not need to change at all, in my opinion, you know.
Okay.
Either way.
Why don't we jump into the first one, which is Scott's, and I'll play it from my end, and y'all tell me if you can hear it, and then we'll just kind of take it from there and talk about it.
Yeah.
All right.
And if anybody has any questions too, I'm happy to talk about along the way.
Okay. You know what? I may actually share my screen. Tell you what, just sharing audio. Share audio. And then I'm going to copy and paste. We'll see if this will work. I'm going to copy and paste Scott's stuff into the chat. Sometimes it's limited. You have to do it in like two shots, fortunately. So we have.
Yeah, I should have mentioned too, and I don't know if this is there, but it's always helpful to have lyrics too.
Yeah.
But if we don't have it, that's fine. We can just listen.
Yeah. Well, here's Eddie, you have access to the lyrics in the spreadsheet.
Okay.
But I'm just copying and pasting them in the chat here. It's lyrics and chords.
Okay, cool.
With Scott's, the lyrics there's a lyric column, and you can just click the column and make it expand it.
Okay, gotcha. Now I'm seeing that.
Cool.
All right, cool.
Okay, I'm going to.
That's fancy, Rigel.
I know, Eddie. I'm like on this. All right, let's get this guy started. Out here. Cool.
Woke up Saturday morning with a start. Went down the stairs and grabbed the remote. Hannah Barbara, milk drowned Cheerios. Watching bad guys escape in a lifeboat. How and bam, with a cartoon kids. Yeah, in a world we made. Join our life crusade with a cartoon kids. Fly around the room just like Superman. Fell in love with Wonder Woman on that very day. Forgot all my worries with super friends. Wonder Twin powers, let's activate with a cartoon kids. In a world we made. Join our Toon crusade with a cartoon kids. Jabber jaws on shores can't wait. Shut out the world, oh so tight. Yeah, this is my home, my rights. With a cartoon kids. In a world we made. Join us on a Toon crusade with a cartoon kids. I'm a cartoon kid. Draw me home. I'm a cartoon kid. Draw me home. Draw me
That's got
Nice. Great job. Yeah. Very cool. Yeah. So, I mean, that's that's a complete song, right? I mean, we've got verses, choruses, we got a bridge, we got even a pre-chorus kind of build up to the chorus, and kind of interlude after the first chorus. I mean, these are all things that might not have been there, in another song, and that's maybe what we have been talking about. But since they're there already, it's like, okay, great. Yeah, so it looks like now it's more of just, kind of the particulars of the instrumentation. I heard something that maybe you did too, Scott. Background vocals in the choruses that you could do there, and then just maybe just some things that think about on taking the song from the verse into the pre-chorus and then building up to the chorus. So it's kind of like lifts up, kind of ramps up to that. I want to say I almost heard on the drum track that it was the ride cymbal, kind of a loud, drum part in the verse, and then it maybe went down to the hi-hat in the chorus. And I might say try switching that, where it goes from the hi-hat first, and then you can do kind of like a build up in the pre-chorus, and then boom, we're the cartoon kids, and then that's your big chorus you've got. I mean, it's a common kind of thing to do, but it's just so effective, in building up that energy. Of course, don't want to lose it. It's got a lot of fun, speaking of singing about cartoon kids, kind of want it to be wild and, yeah. Anyway, so it's, and there, obviously there's some things you could look at for the bridge, look at for the interlude. So those are those kinds of more instrumentation, questions than arranging, like should you have that chorus there or not. I think it's all fine. I'm wondering about the length of the outro. I just want to hear that again and see about how long after that last chorus you'd want to really have that outro and then end it. And it's so subjective, right? Because anybody can say, no, I think it should be twice as long on the outro, So, but yeah, you got to. I mean, obviously, it's a rock band kind of setup. You got the keyboards in there, which is cool. So I was wondering before it even started, like, oh, are there going to be any keyboards? And I like it. It's this nostalgic kind of bell-like keyboard tone, in there on the choruses. So that's cool. Yeah, it's just be really just developing more of what's there. You know what I mean? And structuring that.
Scott, do you have any
Cool. Thank you.
questions?
The only question I had, it just seemed like, yeah, and maybe it's the drums, but the chorus just seemed to still be a little flat, or maybe could use something else. I wasn't sure, but
That's
yeah,
what
it
I
just seemed
mean.
like-
I think, yeah, possibly in the way that the drum patterns are done to go from the verse to the pre-chorus to the chorus, and then even how the guitars maybe, you could see how that would work in the verse, and then in the chorus, maybe you're doubling some guitar parts, things like that. Just those things are done all the time. It just gives that sense of, wow, it just opened up on the chorus. We went from maybe a mono guitar part in the middle to a stereo doubled guitar part in the chorus, and same thing with adding any background vocals to that, just makes it bigger and wider, and it could be even subtle. Like I've heard background vocals that you're wondering if they're even there or who is singing that, but it's nice to have it. It just adds that extra level of something. And then when it goes back to the verse, like, oh, okay, we're, back to that part of the song again, So yeah.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Appreciate
sure.
it.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. And Eddie, if you ever need me to replay something, bam, I'm like on it. Okay.
You
I'm
got it.
spreadsheet.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Awesome.
Okay, so nice. Let's move on to the next one. And by the way, we will have to end this a little bit short because Eddie has another session to get onto. Eddie, like what, 12:50? Is that okay?
That's totally fine. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's move on to Kirsty. And we have the I'm gonna download these lyrics so we can paste those in. Probably have to do the same thing where I do it in like 2 shots. Let's see if I can do it like this. Now, Kirsty, tell me, I just like barely started it. Who's singing? Sorry, you'll have to unmute yourself.
I am singing.
Really? No
Yeah.
way. Hold on.
Mhm.
Okay. Why is that? Okay, I'm gonna have to do another. Lots of words here. So just so you know, in Zoom, like it won't let you paste more than a certain number of characters. So
That's why you're having to
so long.
put new chats, messages.
Wow, why is this like doesn't want me to? There we go.
You could do it like a round robin lyrics post, and each person could post one section or something.
Gosh, let's see. I think this is gonna work now. Here we go. All right, so they're all in there now. I'm gonna let Angela in real quick before we
All right.
get started. And hey, Angela.
Hey,
Good to see you. We're just we're about to start into our second song. So I just
awesome.
put all the lyrics into the chat there. And
Awesome. I just got rid of my kids out of my room. So awesome.
perfect. Now I will go to the song. All right, Kirsty, we're going to listen. Here we go. Lockdown Blues.
Nice.
I'm stuck at home again, waiting for something exciting to happen or all this to come to an end. And I wonder what we're doing tonight. Is that wrong? Well, that's alright. Here alone again, trying to figure out whatever happened to all the plans I used to have. And I wonder, could I share them with you? And you can share yours with me too. When this ends and finally we can be who we're supposed to be. Here I am again, covering my face and keeping my distance and staring at you through the screen. And I wonder when you come to my place and we can share that first embrace. When this ends and finally we can be who we're supposed to be. We'll go out for a drink and celebrate. When all is done, we need to compensate for all the times we stayed inside, the liaisons that we were denied, the ordinary joys we missed, the kisses that we never kissed. Here I go again. journals and reading all updates like life carried on as before. And I wonder, will it still be the same when we finally meet again? When this ends and finally we can be who we're supposed to be.
Nice, very cool.
Fun.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just first impressions, I would say I know what this song is about, but
Yeah, it's quite obvious, really.
but at the same time, I think it's really fun to imagine that it's not about what we think it's about, and maybe there is this kind of something going on with the relationship that kept them apart, and whatever that is ends, then they can be together again, or whatever. So I was having fun just imagining it was about that different kind of topic, So anyway, I thought it was great, and you definitely have ability for a band behind you on this one, especially when it starts really getting going on the A major chord, that dun 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 dun, it's just kind of like, oh yeah, that's where the band's going to build up there. So the arrangement could kind of just follow your dynamics of what you're doing right there with the guitar and the voice. It has some natural things in there, which is great, when it's already, kind of begging for that.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm hearing certain things about how that would, if I was going to record that, then, I mean, it almost sounds to me kind of like a blues version of Hosier or something, if you're familiar with him. And that kind of like, it sounds like in a really big room, the drums, or it's like in the background, and, this kind of dreamy atmosphere, so just something to think about if you're going to ever want to do that, or if you're putting that together on your own or something. It's just the kind of questions, it lends things such a different feel when you make those choices, like, do I want a lot of reverb on my voice or no reverb on my voice, or how is that going to affect how you sing the song, or how the other musicians, if they are there, how they play the song, because everybody's kind of looking for that direction, and or if they're not, they just kind of do whatever they're would think off the top of their heads. But you might be like, oh, I'm kind of thinking of approach it this way, or hey, build this section up with me and then come way down on this other section, and that's something that definitely has a lot of potential in this song, and that would just take more time to work through that.
Yeah, it's funny that the verse for that, the first verse leading up to the first chorus, I wrote about 2 or 3 months ago, and I had been completely stuck on it until yesterday.
Oh wow, okay.
I wrote all the rest of it in one go yesterday, picked up the guitar, sang it, thought, right, I'll submit this. It's kind of hard for me to imagine it as anything other than a guitar, because I've just been playing it that way for so long.
Oh yeah.
But I think possibly, just keeping it as the solo guitar maybe for the verse until that chorus comes in, like you say, on the A major.
Exactly. Yeah. That's say, and that's kind of creating that drama, right? That kind of would be nice, and things like that some people might not think about. Like, wait, the band doesn't have to play through the whole song; they could actually drop out here, or just at least go down very dynamic. Dynamic meaning soft and then to loud. In that build up section. And there's something about that phrase and I wonder, that I feel like needs to be emphasized, whether that's with like doubling or background or something, because it keeps coming back, and I like that, and I felt like, oh, it's kind of a special part of that verse right there, so that would be, again, some of these things when I'm working with people, I throw it out and not claiming to have the answer, but if we start to think about it, then one of us will usually say, oh yeah, well, what about trying this? And then once you try it and other people try it, and then you end up having, yeah, this is the way to go. Or you try something and it's just like, no, this isn't it. And I love it when it just like happens right away, in like one try. But I've had 5 versions of a song before, and it just happens. Takes what it takes. So, but this one, I think it's just, again, following the natural flow of this, you could create that arrangement, that instrumentation. That would be great for it. So.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, sure.
Any other questions, Kirsty?
No, I think that was, I think the key there for me is that the 2 takeaways I have is to leave it quiet at the start and then bring the kind of band arrangement in when it really gets loud, when I'm sort of hammering the chords on that guitar. And also, I think it's a great idea. I'll probably go for maybe a couple of harmony lines coming in almost as a choir on the And I Wonder.
Yeah. There could be some other places too, but just that definitely stood out to me.
Okay.
So,
thanks.
Sure, yeah.
Awesome. Fun, man. We're powering through these. I should have invited people to submit more, but we're figuring this out as we go. All right, Lou, ready to rock and roll?
I'm ready.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Well, it's not as rock and roll as the first 2.
All right, I'm going to copy and paste like I did. So just bear with me as my program
Sure.
opens.
So this song I wrote in the 100-day challenge that we had recently, and this is the working tape. So I just had built it in Logic. And
cool.
So I want to re-record it for the EP challenge. So I've gotten feedback from Shane Adams on some of the lyrics and the melody and moving the verse 2 to verse 1.
Okay. Yeah. So that's already some arranging / writing ideas there. Okay.
So so I'm going to re-record it. So I'm totally open to every instrument, changing any.
Okay. Yeah.
I think the intro and the ending. Yeah.
Lou, you were cutting out just a little bit.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Sorry. So I'd love to have feedback on the intro and the ending specifically, but I'm open to any piece of it. Yeah.
Cool. All right, we got the lyrics in there. I'm on this, and now I'm going to play the song. Here we go.
I know you said you would, but it was different then. Blue skies open wide, and everyone your best friend. Headed round every bend on the road ahead. Deaf to your shallow breath and all you left unsaid. You're worried shadows of all that might have been. Turn off your phone and just let this crazy world spin. Your worried mind can only take you so far down the line. Your tired heart can only shine so far through the dark. Step down from the grindstone and rest a while.
Nice. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Very cool. Wow, it's so different from the other two, right? Like every one of these is so different, which is great. So yeah, this one has, you know, a lot of places it could go. That's a nice thing, is, you know, if I get to listen as a producer or someone helping out on the arrangement, that, you know, I like is that dobro as the main guitar, something?
It's a banjo.
A banjo, yeah, right. So I mean, I think that's awesome, and that should definitely be kind of the main accompaniment throughout. I mean, that could be the intro, is just that banjo, and then as it goes into the verse and then the chorus, you know, I like the bass comes in and gets full like that. Being a keyboard player, I'm hearing keyboard parts, like, but since it has that banjo, I'm already also hearing like is it a pump organ or harmonium or something that's kind of in the background, just like an atmospheric kind of thing, behind that double voice that's very, very intimate and up close. So there's some possibilities of keyboards or other kind of guitar textures maybe, that could happen in the chorus, especially because I'm wondering, you know, what could be done in those, especially that second chorus, as far as instrumentation goes. Drums could come in, you know, maybe even in that first chorus. I'm thinking of, you know, imagining someone who's playing a kit and they're doing that shaker, but they're just only doing the shaker, but then they can bring in the kick drum, the bass drum, and it's a very open, like boom, 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 boom. So anyway, it's like trying to develop a rhythm section around it, and then other, you know, say keyboard, guitar type instruments, to develop from that first verse, kind of there, and then a little more, not too much, but could be interesting thing to try. And then, yeah, does it ever go maybe back down to just that banjo again? Because the banjo is just such a cool timbre and texture that you wouldn't want it to get lost if these other things come in. So maybe there's places for it to be featured again down the line, you know, in between a verse and or a chorus, another verse, or at the intro. Outro. I mean, I said intro. I meant outro. Does it kind of go back down to just that banjo at the end? So those are just you know, ideas I'm thinking about just off the top of my head. Also, I'm seeing it's just a verse chorus. Would there be a place for either an instrumental section where that banjo could come in more, and then another chorus or bridge, or no? I'm kind of wondering how you're feeling about that, Lou.
These are really great suggestions. Thanks. I'm just jotting everything down.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, and I just kind of, you know, I just go rattle things off.
Yeah, that's
so sorry if I'm talking fast.
For me, I don't want it to be too long, like the whole song. And I don't really know how long the intro should be or the outro. But I do love the idea of building up and like introducing things as the song develops. Like I'm definitely going to do the drums, actually, like you're suggesting. I think I'll bring that in. And
Sure. Okay, great.
the organ too, like the idea of having an organ and having, oh, that sounds really cool. I want to play around with that.
Yeah, it's just I don't know if I've heard it on similar types of songs before, but it just really yeah, I'm glad you're willing to try that out and see what you think. Again, all just suggestions to try and see if it works, and we'll only know until you get that feedback, that instant feedback of actually doing it, putting it in there, listening back, seeing how you feel. Also, that length is it's a hard thing to talk about since it's like the first time I've ever really heard the song all the way through. And if it was me working with you, I'd listen a lot more, think about things on the intro and the outro and the whole length of the song, even look at it in the DAW, see how the sections are going, and yeah, then try out different options for that. Does it warrant another chorus at the end after a musical interlude, or does it just need to have something kind of, bringing it together at the end after just that second chorus? That might be all it needed. That's all you needed to say. And now you just want to kind of let it drift off at the end, so it doesn't end too quickly. But so anyway, just yeah, it's pretty open-ended for this one.
Yeah, the length is right at 3 minutes and 16 seconds, which is pretty.
Yeah, it's pretty good length already, right? So, so maybe have just a slight outro, so it doesn't take you too much beyond 3:30, something like that. It's the golden ratio of songs, 3 minutes and 30 seconds.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Something like that. I don't know. It's I've heard about that.
Oh dear, I've got Animals by Pink Floyd on my wall there, about 17 minutes long.
Oh, I know. Well, that, a Bohemian Rhapsody. I mean, that should be the standard, right?
Oh man.
Thank you so much for all your suggestions.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah.
With. Thank you.
Yeah.
No
Do you have any other questions?
No, that's great. That's fantastic.
Awesome. Well, any last burning desire questions? This has been awesome, Eddy.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. Well, thanks for having me to talk to everybody, and you, Nigel. Always, as always. Always fun.
Yeah, Dave saying big floppy kick on the first beat of each bar and build more. Ooh, I like that. Yeah, live the song could progress into a long jam.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, a long jam. Yeah, Lou.
Yeah, I got the live version. You could have the recorded version, like very concise, but then let it loose for the live. That's a great idea.
Everyone, like, you cut out the band and everyone sings a cappella, the whole crowd, like the last.
Exactly.
Okay. All right, Lou, I'm your fan. I'm officially your fan.
Yeah, great songs, everybody. Yeah, it was a lot of fun checking these out.
Cool.
Thanks for sending them.
Well, we can sign off early. Thanks, Eddy, man, for taking your time. I know your time is valuable. If you guys want to explore this stuff with Eddy, he does do this. I don't know if he could do it by the end of the EP challenge, but he does producing virtually as well as in person.
I'm glad to report, and I'll be posting about this when she's ready, or maybe I'll just give a little hint. So there's a woman from Australia that's part of the group named Jenny Atrill, and we just finished our first song, fully produced, got the masters back 2 days ago of that first song, and we're working on more songs. So thank you, Rigel, for the reference.
Yeah, so I'm curious, did you how did you do the recording with that? Did you bring people into the studio, or did you do stuff just virtual instruments, or did she record everything there?
No. Okay. So, and she lives in Darwin, Australia. I'm here in Austin, Texas. So obviously she recorded her vocal over there. And I think she did it at her house. She has a nice mic and it's a little set up for that. And then here I recorded drums with safety protocols in place and everything, just so everybody know.
Drums.
Kyle, who do you think? Rigel Thurston's drummer, Kyle Thompson, was on drums. Chris Marsh, who's a very famous bass player in Austin, was on bass. I had him come in right here. David Polkingham was on acoustic and electric guitars, who's an amazing guitar player. He recorded at his house. He's got a recording set up now. But when he was touring, he was world touring with Patty Griffin, Grammy winner from this year. He's played everywhere. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So, and yeah,
I'm excited to
the
hear the song.
Oh, it came out great. We're all very pleased with it. So yeah, can't wait to share it.
I mean, these musicians are like the creme de la creme in Austin.
I feel very fortunate to be able to do that, you know, and even in this environment, to put a song together, even if it's one thing at a time, and then, you know, help develop it with Ginny, which speaking of, and just real quick, so that started out as she had a looper pedal with her guitar, and it was a very blues genre song. There's no getting away from it. It had kind of a blues shuffle feel to it. So I said, okay, sounds like a traditional blues song. Well, she sent me some references, one in particular that had kind of like an old gospel church sound to it. It was really cool. I mean, I forgot the artist's name, but there was a choir there. There's like acoustic bass and, you know, old sound vintage instruments. And I did an arrangement based on that kind of reference track. And at first she thought she would want to go that way. And then I sent her a Bonnie Raitt track that her style made me think of Bonnie Raitt. And she's like, no, I want to go that direction. So we had a whole kind of discussion on the arrangement of this song, of how to do that, you know, how to approach it. And it's like, it just shows you how, you know, just to say, hey, I want to do this blues song. I mean, just to say that, there's so many ways to do a blues song, you know.
Yeah.
The arranging of it, the writing of it, the instrumentation, the tempo, all of it, production. So, yeah. But we ended up more on the Bonnie Raitt side for sure. Yeah. So, and
looking forward to hearing that, Eddie.
Yeah. The song's called Wholehearted Woman.
Wholehearted Woman. Oh,
Yeah.
maybe we can even get you guys to talk about it sometime together.
Oh, that'd be fun too. Yeah,
I think that could be kind of cool just to see how this all came together from like all over the world. You know?
Exactly. Yeah, it's still amazing to me. Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Rigel.
Thank you, Ed.
And everyone. Thank you.
Y'all have an awesome week, and I'll see you out there on the EP challenge.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Take it easy.
See you, Eddie.